Go check out the After Party Hangover. Hashtag shut the fuck up for one.
We kiss the stars. We ride. We are your name. Desire.
Welcome to the After Party Hangover.
Welcome to the After Party Hangover. I'm your host, Mangria Fueled, and this is a show that talks about a show that talks about a show. Today's guest, he's going up against Cynic Chaos at Decent Mania next weekend. He is the decent champion. He is Julius _Ceizar. What's going on, my man?
Nothing, man. Just chilling, wondering how funny it's going to be when I beat this rookie down in his first blood match, because he think he hot shit coming from my title that I worked up to get. I went against the GOAT of GOATs, Andy with an I, and I had to take him out. He was crushing dudes left and right. Y'all seen it? It's on YouTube. It's still there. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen the proof. Your boy got hot at the right time, and I stay hot. That way I ain't got to get hot. So, Cynic, sorry, buddy, but you fitting to catch this hell. And I don't want to hear nothing about it after you're done.
Shots fired, Cynic. Hey, I gotta tell you, it's been a hell of a lot of fun putting that shit together. I got some surprises, and it's gonna be good. But
Nice.
to the point, we are breaking down Steel Real After Party episode 117, King Dong Bundy, or as it should have been called, Carol fucking Baskins.
That bitch.
They kicked it off with some hot Tiger King talk. Ceizar, what the fuck's up with white people?
I don't know, bruh. White people be crazy. I mean, everybody got their problems. Black people, Spanish people, Asian people, Chinese people, Japanese people, Korean people. But man, white people, they just gotta outdo everybody. And then they go for the fence when they go. When true whiteism takes your soul, or caucasity, as we call it in the streets, when it touches your soul, baby, Lord, y'all, white people are something else. I tell you what.
You combine a trailer park with Mountain Dew and wild tigers, that shit's gonna be on point on Netflix. You heard?
Mm-hmm. With a little bit of meth.
Well, a question was proposed during this segment. Could a gay man showering you with gifts turn you, Ceizar, temporarily into a fruit booty?
I mean, the rule states it ain't gay for pay. Oh, I mean, he was paying them dudes money, letting them live rent free, giving them tigers and shit, and a little bit of meth, and then probably reciprocating the favor. He didn't seem like a true alpha male. You know what I mean? So, it's not like you taking it in the butt every night. Maybe Joe Exotic like to get his out and suck your pipe a little bit. I don't know.
Well, yeah, like he said, remember he commented on that dude's golden nuggets? Maybe he was doing
golden nuggets,
and the guy was just
I think just receiving, and that's like prison rules, man. In prison, it ain't gay if somebody's sucking you off. It's gay when you doing the sucking. Prison yard rules, man. I'm just saying.
Hey, Ceizar, whose ass would you eat? Carol Baskins or Joe Exotic's?
Man, fuck Carol Baskins, all right? That bitch, that evil ass bitch. I can't even have that deep, dark stain of soul on my tongue. I don't even want to go near that bitch, okay? I ain't gay or nothing. I ain't gay, not one bit.
Hey, if you eat Joe Exotic's ass, that's not gay. That's honoring the man.
That's not gay.
He's gonna die in prison.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, but Carol, you might be on some shit. You might take over the world, like some Pinky in the Brain shit. Like some real take over the world, you eat her ass, boy. Like dirty thoughts will just jump in your head. You might be on the right hand of Satan after eating her ass. I'm just saying.
Well,
he might come up out the grave.
The LOL line of this episode, there's two of them. The first one was Zanka commenting on Joe's husband. He said that dude had the WrestleMania attendance in his mouth. Oh my God, that was
Okay, now that guy is definitely sucking all the dick because he ain't got no teeth. I mean, you got to get it numbed on.
he earned all that money with them gums.
He, every pente, every single pente, and Tiger he got to play with. That man earned it the hard way.
Well, if I'm a betting man, I can bet that we're going to be hearing a lot more of the Tiger King talk on next week's pod as well as WrestleMania review. However,
Yeah.
they did comment on the Benoit Dark Side of the Ring. Ceizar, what's your 2 cents? Did you watch him? And do you feel sad for Chris Benoit at all?
Oh wait, what was the second line of the pod? You said there were two.
He was talking about Shayna Baszler, and he said, oh, no, he was talking about the bitch who got her hand ripped off on Tiger King. He
Yeah.
said, dude, her fucking pink pocket must stink like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, and she's on Cameo, too, so I can get her to say that. Watch.
God damn. All right, that'd be funny. Yeah, I watched the Benoit thing, so I didn't watch part 1 on YouTube because I knew part 2 was coming out just on TV.
Yeah.
And I wanted to watch them back to back. So I waited and then DVR'd it and watched them on that Thursday or Tuesday, whatever it was. I thought it was really well put together. I mean, Chris Jericho did an awesome job putting that together. Yeah, and it seemed like I like how in the first hour it was kind of like they did the deep dive into like it was kind of like a him and Eddie story. So I mean, Eddie could probably have one of these dark side of the rings as well with all with his troubles that he's had back in the day. And I liked how they kind of deeped in like he had a relationship, he had a strong relationship with somebody on the planet, and then when Eddie passed away, it kind of like I guess like with all the fucked up shit he's done over the year with his getting his head bashed in, and they talked about those chair shots back in the day. That shit was gruesome. It was like that was like a badge of honor to take that chair shot and fucking keep wrestling concussed. It's not like how they do nowadays, with the safety procedures.
I watched Benoit in a ladder match. I believe it was the Money in the Bank ladder match. The first one at WrestleMania 21. Benoit took some sick bumps during that match, and the look on his face, it looked like he was having a seizure in the ring. Of course, the cameraman just zooming in on it. Maybe Benoit was selling it, but my God, that dude, he had the brain of a 2-year-old, and it showed. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Ultimately murdered his family. I felt bad for Benoit during the segment where they showed him crying for Eddie. Got a little dusty in the room seeing that again, because I remember when I first saw it, I was losing it. Like I didn't know how much I loved Eddie Guerrero until I saw a bunch of wrestlers crying about him. It just reopened the old wound. And part 2, how they broke down all the details, was Chris Nowinski, which I didn't realize I missed so much on my TV. It was very interesting and very
it was
informative. Did you learn anything from part 2?
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, that concussion protocol shit is fucking real. And I mean, it's still prevalent with NFL players today, and they wear helmets. And you always hear the story of, how many stories of NFL players, sorry to get off wrestling, but how many stories of NFL players have you even heard of like, like hitting their girlfriends or their wives or getting in these like, disputes that the cops got to get fucking called out of there.
Tell the truth. Remember that Will Smith movie?
Yeah, the concussion movie, about that guy. So, I mean, I definitely think that shit is real, that the shit is real. And, I mean, I'm glad that WWE is taking a safer route with the chair shots. And, they're mostly doing back, body, legs, no more like, put the hand up if it's to the head and whatnot. But obviously, if like that's how dark a person can go from getting their bell rung too many fucking times. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, it comes to the age-old question, like, was his brain just that fucked up that he could just go there? I mean, is it really inside of you to do that? I mean, I guess any person can snap, but what makes you snap?
Well, what
You
I
know, like,
noticed,
is
the
it?
specific term they used is Chris Nowinski said he took so much damage to his brain and this certain specific part of it that it changes you. And all the people that were
Yeah,
interviewed, they said that's not the Chris Benoit I know. I don't. That's not. That couldn't have been him. He didn't have that in him. But what Chris Nowinski said, it could change you. That's what he turned into.
yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's like crazy to me how you can be like some happy, jovial, or even like, yeah, he never really showed emotion. You can just be some guy who's like, a mechanic, man. Like, that's what he did in the ring. He was a fucking grade A mechanic. That dude, technical, great, awesome. That's where he showed his emotion, like in the ring with his wrestling. And then he gets hit in the head too many times and it becomes a fucking murderer and then commits suicide to himself. He still thought it out. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Well, on a lighter note, Caesar, we're gonna go to the next episode of Dark Side of the Ring, and please forgive me,
Oh, yeah.
Caesar. Don't get mad at me. But the line that popped me was when New Jack, I don't remember who he was talking about, but he called someone a homegrown Negro. Can you please give your 2 cents on the New Jack Dark Side of the Ring? Because this was the most entertaining hour of this month.
Bro, look, when I watched this shit for the first 20 minutes, I dead ass am not lying. If I lived in New York, I'd put my Tim boots on the line as a bet, on my Timberland boots on the line. I'm talking about, I cried from laughing for the first 20 minutes. Like, this to me was some of the purest comedy, like, told straight. Like, when people say you're funny and you're just telling it straight, that's how it was. Like, when D'Lo was like, "Oh no, that motherfucker crazy." Like, that is how people talk. That is how my people talk, man. Like, when you be like, "Oh man, yo, what's up with your boy so and so?" They might be like, "No, that Negro crazy, man. Yo, don't fuck with him like that. Fucking crazy."
And the most repeated line, throughout the whole thing, I was high as a motherfucker.
Exactly.
Coke again.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, look, I'm gonna be real with you. I was high as a motherfucker. Like, I mean, he's telling you he ain't lying, bro. He was on another level.
Yeah.
He was not thinking clear because he knew he had to do some dumbass shit. But a homegrown Negro, kind of like an Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
Kind of like, he just said that's all he's saying because they were in like South somewhere, and this is back in the day where, I mean, it's still not 100% gravy today, but this is like back in the day when they weren't afraid to let that N-word with the hard R fly. And but his promos were crazy. Like when he said, "Thanks, OJ, you took care of 2 of them. Keep up the good work." Like, I'm talking about, I dropped my phone and I had to put it on pause because I was having belly roll, cackling laugh with tears down my. I had to rewind it to make sure that he actually said that.
Did you?
And then I found a clip of that
live. Did you watch New Jack come up, or was all this new to you? Because all this was new to me.
So all this was new. The stuff with Jim Cornette, and that was the Jim Cornette stuff. Well, not Jim Cornette. What's his name? Was it Jim Cornette?
Yeah, Smoky Mountain.
The stuff before ECW. Smoky Mountain. Yeah. So all that stuff I had never seen, and him cutting them promos like that because like I never knew D'Lo till WWE, and then I didn't know New Jack until ECW. So I've seen New Jack wrestle. New Jack is crazy. Hate to say it. New Jack inspired when we had a backyard wrestling thing. New Jack inspired a match we had. Because we was always outside, so we didn't have like trees to put for like a ladder match. So we came up with the idea because our friend had a really tall shed to put the belt on top of a shed and have a throw the motherfucker off the shed match and jump on him like New Jack. That's actually what the match was called.
Holy shit!
You had to throw a guy off the shed, grab the belt, and then jump and like splash him, like while he was on the ground, like New Jack. I'm just saying, it was dumb times. What are you gonna do?
I would pay you, and I would pay Cynic each $1,000 to see you have a backyard wrestling match. That would be incredibly entertaining. The promos, everything leading up to it. Oh man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'd probably break something now. Like this is back when we were like 20, where
Yeah,
you could like jump off 18 things and like, and don't get me wrong, when the adrenaline wore off, it kind of hurt for like an hour.
yeah.
So yeah, now I'd be in the hospital. Yeah, but no, I mean New Jack. I've seen New Jack matches on ECW because the thing about New Jack was he would come out with a trash can full of random shit every single time, and he'd have that song "Natural Born Killers" by Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, and it would not stop. Like it would not stop. That song would play the entire match. If New Jack won, they keep playing it because they play his music again. But only time they stop playing that music is if he lost.
That
And
is
I'm
crazy
dead
to
ass.
think about.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Like he'd be jumping off of stuff, the song would be in the background. Him and them, they'd be fighting the Dudleys. The song is on. He'd be fighting in like a six man, elimination match. The song would be playing.
Could you imagine if WWE would have signed him?
Dude, yeah, he would have flopped out in like a minute.
Yes.
They weren't doing anything hardcore, and like it was crazy. He always had new stuff. Like he had a PlayStation, he had a ukulele, he had a golf club. He would have like stop signs, road signs. He had like a trombone one time. He had a trumpet. He had a bowling ball. Like everything. You didn't know what was in that trash can until he dumped it in the ring,
But
and then he got in.
100%, he was high as fuck.
He was high as fuck. He was high as fuck. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. That's a line from Rick James.
Well, moving on, the Steel Rail After Party Instagram question segment. It's really convenient that I have you on here, Ceizar, because you must explain yourself. 5 proms. What's going on with that?
So what?
You went to 5 proms.
Oh, that was back in the day, man.
Yeah.
So what happened was, it was more, was it? All right, it was 5 proms and 4 ring dances. So like, the junior prom.
Yeah.
So what happened was I was in band back in the day,
Yeah.
and we had a pretty big band. It's like 200 people, 150 people. And it just turns out that certain band geeks were always like the president or the vice president of whatever class. So the president and the vice president of the classes, the junior class, the sophomore class, they were always the ones that checked tickets at prom and ring dances. So like me and my friends from band, a lot of them who I was in backyard wrestling with and I still hang out with, like we would just be like, yo man, prom tonight. You still got the old tuxedo in the closet? Oh fuck yeah, let's go. We just get loaded. Like one of our friends would be over 21, we'd get liquor and stuff, and we would just drive to the place and then like text people. They'd come outside because our friend had like an SUV, so we'd sit in the car and get loaded. And then we would go in, and then we'd see like the president, our man Kevin, who was in band with us, be like, yo Kev, he's like, yo come on man, nobody over here. So like we would just sneak in and just have a good time and while out. So this happened for like all 4 years I was in high school. And then I had a friend of mine who was a senior, and her date got sick like 2 days before, and she asked me to go with her. So that's how I got to go to 5.
Well, Ceizar, if you don't start your own podcast or write a book about your life, it'll be a damn shame, because my man here has lived.
I've lived and then I've not lived. So, I mean, me and my friends talk about this, the dumb stories that we have. Like, and we've seen people who like just talk about dumb stories in a book. We're like, if we just said half the stupid shit we actually said and got away with, some of the stuff may have statutes of limitations. I'm not legally going to say anything. Some of the stuff is wild out. Some of the stuff is pretty wild. But the stuff we could talk about, yeah, I mean, it would literally be a great read.
I sent the room code to Zanka because we need him to elaborate on some random line he dropped and didn't really get into. Zanka said during the Instagram questions that he got fingered by a Greek dude when referencing arm hair. So if he jumps on during the AEW NXT review, we're stopping everything and he needs to tell us what the fuck was that about.
Definitely. Definitely.
But here we go. Let's get into it.
All
AEW
right.
kicks off with spectators back in the crowd. Cody and his
Oh,
dog,
yeah.
Tony Schiavone, kicking things off, and they revealed the brackets for the TNT Championship, which I still think is stupid. They
Definitely
should have just
stupid.
called it something else. TNT Championship,
Right.
kind of dumb, but I don't know. I
We
digress.
just call it the TV championship. Can we not just call it the TV championship?
Exactly. I mean, hopefully the belt looks cool because they're known for having at least a cool championship belt, and the tag belts.
Yeah, but it's gonna have that dumbass TNT logo on it.
I really hope not, man. But the fucking the networks are probably jumping down their throat about it. But
Right.
Shawn Spears versus Cody, Sammy G
Yeah.
versus Darby, Kip Sabian
Yep.
versus Dustin, and the Murder Hawk versus Colt Cabana. Early prediction, Ceizar. Who's taking this?
Wait, so here's my other question. Did we miss, because they said they did half of this on Dark, did we already miss half of the matches? Or,
Yes.
because that's only like, what, 8 people? I thought it was a 16-man tournament.
It was a massive tournament, and it all got taken down to these 8.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. There's like nothing going on, and these guys space out their pay-per-views like every 3 months. You mean to tell me we couldn't have put this shit on TV? I get it. There's no crowd, and like there's no crowd. You could have wasted this out until we had crowds again, so that the person who does win this like gets the pop with the crowd,
Well, not
or
to mention
gets the booze with the crowd.
the Dusty Cup, the tag tournament on NXT lasted like 40 months. They drew that out. They could have drew this out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you didn't have to like rush to get this down to the 8. Like, I mean, I get it, man. Look, like I said, I have ups and downs about AEW, and I'm kind of nitpicking. The wrestling's good. The wrestling's great. But I mean, all right. So prediction wise, here's I don't want Cody to have this first again, because like Cody doing this would be like real Jeff Jarrett like when TNA. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, just because you're the guy in charge, you already had Chris Jericho's first title defense. I mean, even though you lost, I mean, you still had it. You're always winning. Like, his record is impeccable. I mean, because records count in AEW.
I guess.
Fucking shit. And yeah, I mean, that's what they say. And you've already beaten Shawn Spears. I guess there's a little heat there for the chairman thing, which I think is a great like addition that he tried to get to his character, because he hit Cody with the chair and busted him open. Now he's the chairman. I would like to see Shawn Spears win, and then on the bottom, I'd like to see. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna go 50-50 booking, then you got to pick Darby Allin to beat Sammy Guava Juice. Honestly, I would like to see Sammy Guava Juice or Darby Allin kind of win this win this belt.
I'm going to predict that it comes down to Cody versus the Murder Hawk. Murder Hawk wins,
Yeah.
becomes the next big star in AEW.
That could work too, but it seems like Jake the Snake's working like this gimmick where they're gonna fight anyway, and like they need a big blow off. But I mean, if you're gonna do this just on TV, I could see it working out that way. I don't really like that though, like, because you guys are talking before the tournament. They've been beefing before the tournament, and Jake's been hyping this up before the tournament. I would like them to have a bigger blow off, like separately, not have like just because it worked out that way in the tournament, because that feels kind of rigged.
I think the conclusion might be at Double or Nothing, the next pay-per-view in July.
Okay.
But we'll see. I mean, it is the TV championship. It would make more sense to be on Dynamite.
Right. Like the first winner to be on Dynamite, but maybe the first title defense is on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, true. The first match of the night was Trent, of course, with his backup, Chuck and Orange Cassidy, versus Kenny
Sexy Chuck E. T.
Omega.
Oh yeah.
Two faces fighting for some reason, but it was a hell of a match. Did you take anything away from this?
Bruh. Your boy Trent can get. This motherfucker. I ain't never seen nobody. The spot where he placed Kenny on the ropes and did the baseball slide German.
Incredible.
But then he hit him with a chop earlier, and that chop like hurt. Dude, he hit him with a chop when he set this up. Like Kenny had a hard chop, but Trent's got a mean ass chop. That thing was sharp. I ain't never heard a chop get that sharp. Now, you hear them, they sound pow, but this was like, pss. I was like, damn, that shit might actually they all hurt, but that shit might hurt. But that baseball slide German, I have never seen anybody do anything like that. Like, that is just a stupidly good, awesome move. I wouldn't want to see the best friends break up because I think as a trio with Orange, they're good. Their tag team is good, and I think they're a fan favorite with Orange. But Trent could wrestle solo career and probably be really good. If not mid card, if not at least fighting in the top tier, maybe not at the maybe not for the championship, but at least fighting those guys. Because I mean, he went 19 minutes with Omega, and this match was fucking good.
I love how they're making every member of the Best Friends trio significant. Like none of us. Well, I'm a casual wrestling fan when it comes to AEW because I didn't know any of these fuckers. But what they're doing week by week are making me care about Trent, Chuck, and Orange Cassidy. And like you said, they even had Orange Cassidy have a classic with Pac, showing that he can go as well. So now I'm taking these three more serious. Now that I've seen Trent clash with Kenny Omega, the notes that I took on this match was Orange was gonna hug Omega. And Chuck pulled him away. It was like a special.
Chuck pulled him away.
That was gonna hug him. I thought that was pretty fucking funny. Trent was
it popped me.
Kenny's injured hand most of the match. That was pretty smart.
Mm-hmm.
Very intense matchup. But Kenny does pull out the win with the one-winged angel. This was just pretty much, a nothing exhibition that was very entertaining. Loved it.
Yeah.
After the match, we get a Matt Hardy Jericho recap. We've seen it before. Very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Commercial break. We get a Hikaru Shida video package. I like her look. I hate her theme.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only problem I have with her. She took on Anna Jay with two Ys. What did you take away from this enhancement match, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, she's the number one contender for the title. So she had to take on somebody, beat him up, give him a win.
Yeah.
She's got 7 matches in a row winning. Did you notice that Cody keeps mentioning it? Did you notice every time Kenny comes out, if you check the nameplates, the colors are black and white, but when Kenny comes out, it's golden because all the champions, your nameplate is golden when you come out. Did you actually catch that? He said it last week and I didn't catch it, but I saw it today. Like I had to rewind it. So it's got like the description on top or something.
Yeah.
And then it's got their @ on Twitter, and then it's got on the bottom it has like their record, and it has like tag record. But in the middle it has their name, and wherever your name is, it's usually white. But Kenny's is golden because he's a tag team champion. And Cody keeps like mentioning that thing. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And like little things for detail.
That's what you got to love about AEW because they stick those little details out. Like I told you with Hangman Page's, he always has something funny above his name. They're paying attention to details, and fans like you and I are noticing these. Really appreciate the attention to detail.
Yeah, like it pops me a few like that Brandy one when she had to announce, and it never said she was going to announce again. Like that shit fucking made me laugh.
I didn't really care about this match. The best part of this entire match was Orange Cassidy was in the audience holding up a blank sign. That was fucking funny, dude. Talk about sticking with your gimmick.
Yo, my man Orange has a lock on this gimmick, and it's gold. Like falling asleep at the announce table, holding up the sign. I don't know how he does it, man. And like he does this in public. Like that dude has this. This is some of the best character work I've seen.
Orange Cassidy, I really hope we do see him wrestle more in the future. Maybe they might save him for like a a spectacle like a Brock Lesnar. He only turns it on when it's a pay-per-view, but very entertaining.
Yeah. Look, I wouldn't be mad at that if he only turns it on for pay-per-view, or if they do these like three-peat match, like because they do a lot of trio matches. That's what I thought their other belt was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a trio championship belt. So if they start doing more of that, like it's, oh my God, fucking Orange Man, that dude's awesome.
Sheeta wins with a lazy Falcon Arrow. She gets a handful of snatch for the pin. Britt Baker instigates her while she's walking away. After the commercial break, what?
That shit was funny. That shit was funny to me because it was like, I think she yelled at her. She's like, "Did you go get a sandwich during my match?" And Britt was like, "What? I'm hungry." Like, I swear that's because I was cooking some food when I was watching it, and like the way she threw the arms up, she had a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and like she was just like, "What? Did you have the nerve to leave during my match and go get a sandwich?" She was like, "What?
Tony
I was hungry."
Tony goes, "Why is she holding a shoe when she's holding a
Her
sandwich?"
shoe up. Yeah. Why'd you suck her shoe while she has that sandwich?
After the commercial break, we get a Mox and Hager video package, and Hager drops the ruthless aggression line. I don't know if you caught that during his promo.
Yeah.
Nice little touch there from Mr. Swagger. Another commercial break. Colt Cabana joins commentary, which was a breath of fresh air. Him and Tony worked pretty damn good together. We get the debut of Lance Archer, and who does Lance Archer want to face on his debut match? The old Ball, Marco Stunt, Mr. Funsize, apparently.
Yeah.
What did you think about this incredible abuse of a midget?
Oh my God, man! I was like, oh my God, I don't know. Matches are like, if I was in the crowd, I paid money for this? Like, come on, man! This is your debut match. He was gonna beat the dog shit out of the smallest guy on the roster.
Yeah.
Like I was supposed to believe that Marco has a slight bit of a chance. The slightest bit of a chance. Like, come on, bro. You're up here talking shit to everybody on the roster. You beat the fuck out of anybody who gets in the ring with you, and you're facing Marco Stunt. Like, you could have pulled anybody out, but you pulled out Marco Stunt.
Even a QT Marshall would have been better.
Yeah. You can wreck anybody, but you don't wreck Marco Stunt. Come on, man.
What was unique during this matchup? We've seen a release German suplex, Brock Lesnar doing it. We've seen an X-plex, which Pete Dunne does often. I've never seen a standing suplex get released. He did a release standing suplex to Marco, and poor little Marco flew across the ring. Yeah. He does win with a blackout, which is kind of like a reverse crucifix, Razor's Edge, powerbomb like deal. He then throws Marco into the spectators and leaves. Interesting debut. Colt Cabana on commentary kept saying, "Well, he's not going to do that to me." So it's going to be interesting to see what that match looks like compared to this ridiculous debut matchup where he basically gave Marco CTE. But
pretty much.
Moving on, we get a Dark Order video with Brody Lee again, I guess taking shots at McMahon. Call me Mr. Brody. He gets mad that a dude yawned. This leads into the match with Dark Order number 8 and 9 versus the Natural Nightmares. I got a question for you, Ceizar. What the fuck are they doing with the Exalted One character? Because months and months of them saying, "Oh, you just wait till the Exalted One gets here. He's our leader, and he's going to take us to the glory land, and he's the greatest." As soon as Brody Lee is revealed as the Exalted One, all he does is abuse everybody in the Dark Order.
Pretty much.
Brody Lee's MO is, let's abuse the Dark Order and take shots at Vince McMahon. It's kind of hard to take him serious when that's all he's been doing lately. What are your thoughts on Brody Lee?
That's all AEW's been doing. All AEW's been doing, taking shots at Vince slightly here or there. Now it feels like they won't all do it. They have one guy to keep doing it. And I don't like this. I don't like it at all. Like, yeah, you can be the leader. I like the fact that then that guy lost, like Brody came out there and whooped his ass again. Yeah, be a leader and be dominant and be a force, but you don't have to like abuse these motherfuckers behind the stage too. Like, so I got a quick update from Instagram. Miz is not wrestling at WrestleMania. It's a triple threat match though, but it's just Jimmy, Kofi, no, sorry, John, Kofi, and Morrison, and the titles are on the line still.
What the fuck? Wow.
Yeah.
It's still TLC?
Hold on, by himself. Yeah, triple threat ladder match.
Wow, that changes a lot.
They just announced it on the bump like 20 minutes ago. So it's just, it's John Uso, Morrison, and Kofi. But the winner wins, their team wins the SmackDown Championship, Tag Team Championship.
Are you still going with the Usos?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I'll still go with Kofi. More than likely. Do you think they'd want Morrison to shine, or do you think they want it to change regardless?
This actually, I don't know. This makes me think that they kind of want Morrison to shine. I mean, he is the one coming back, and they kind of threw him with Miz instead of maybe giving him a singles title run, which I'm guessing what was probably promised. Which, I mean, I thought would be cool. I mean, I didn't mind him teaming back up with Miz, but kind of like Miz when he's on his own, except he needs to get more wins in. But I'm gonna stick with Uso.
It's gonna be entertaining, regardless. Those three can go. It's gonna be awesome. We needed a lot.
It could be more. I mean, I need to see it. Big E is really good too, but I think it'd be more entertaining this way, with like the crazy shit Kofi and Morrison can do, and then the Usos are out there as well. So I think with the three of them in a ladder match, I think it'd be really, really dope.
Well, plus in the future, we're gonna see that match. They might save it for SummerSlam, like a rematch or something.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's where TNT was really invented. So why not?
Well, back to AEW. After a commercial break, we get probably the funniest, besides the New Jack thing, the funniest segment of the week. Jericho in a hot tub. He's talking shit about Matt Hardy. Vanguard 1 shows up. He hooks the Inner Circle shirt to Vanguard. Vanguard flies away. Jericho then says, "Release the hounds!"
And there's just some damn dogs.
Fucking white people dogs and rich people dogs come out barking like it's supposed to be Mr. Burns. How hard did you laugh when Jericho released the hounds?
First of all, well, this motherfucker's just sitting in a jacuzzi. So that's where I got the idea on Hail Ceizar, when Jericho was just sitting in that tub.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. All right. Like I'm telling you, I make this stuff up on the fly. So that's where I got the idea from. And of course he's sitting there with a little bit of the bubbly.
Yes.
But his whole conversation with a damn drone. The drone's not talking back. This is how good Jericho is. He talks to a drone, and he somehow has an entertaining conversation. And he's like, "Hey, Vanguard." He's like, "I didn't mean to call you a piece of shit. Come on, man. That was." He still works in that piece of shit line.
Yeah.
So he says, "I didn't mean to call you a piece of shit," but he still says it. Still working that in there. And he goes, "What are you stealing my shirt? You son of a bitch!" Like. The dude has a one-way conversation with a drone. It fucking kills me, man.
Not even as champion, Jericho is the most entertaining part of the entire show.
Yeah, like he's literally got that company on his back, and I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it one damn bit.
And the comparison, the Young Bucks video afterwards was more serious, like making them, like talk about their dedication to wrestling and everything. Zero humor in that, but appreciated Young Bucks showing a serious side.
Yeah, because I mean, usually on Being the Elite, which is just online, they're always joking around, being ignorant. So, I mean, it was good stuff though.
The main event. Sammy, Guava Juice, teams with
Oh
Sean
yeah.
Spears to take on Darby Allin and Cody. Ceizar, what are your thoughts on AEW's main event?
Wasn't there a match in between that? No, we already talked about Brody Lee. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. No, the main event was good. I thought it was really good. I like how Sammy came out and gave everybody elbows. The heels.
Yeah.
Got to give the heels the elbow. And then, dude, you can't tell me you weren't weak when those fools were gambling during the match.
That's in my notes. I was about to say it in my notes.
I thought this was a bit of brilliance. I don't know who keeping this train rolling. Sean Spears has been gambling the last 3 empty house show matches. He stole the money last week. He gambled with MJF the first week. And then he had a live gambling in the match, man. He said, what did he say? Stalling suplex.
Yep.
10. I bet you can't do it for 10. What? You 10? He said, double or nothing. I can do it 15.
Yeah.
15? He said, all in 20. Come on, bro. Like, these dudes literally had to put money in their tights and in boots just to, like, pull off a gimmick.
Should Sean really be gambling away the money? He's the only breadwinner because Peyton Royce ain't doing shit on WWE. He should be saving that money for them.
Well, I think it's kind of like the NFL. You can be on the bench, but you still get a game check because you're on the team, baby. You ain't got to play. You ain't got to play.
Hopefully. Poor Peyton Royce.
Yeah, hopefully there's a base. Yeah, hopefully there's like a base contract. You know what I mean? Like they're just getting paid week to week. I mean, because they have to pay for their own travel. I'll be damned if I'm gonna have to show up to shows week for week and you not use me, and I don't get like a yearly salary. You know what I mean?
Vince McMahon's probably like, oh, I already gave them their WrestleMania moment last year. Their asses
last year.
Home.
Yeah, these bitches just need to stay on Instagram with the WWE moniker and get me views.
Well, back to the main event. Cody gets thrown over the barricade, and he gets attacked by the spectators, of course, the heels. Britt Baker even hits her with her fucking shoe after she's done with her sandwich. I loved how the spectators were, they were our only audience, so they were keeping up with the boo, yay, boo, yay, boo, yay. Much appreciated. Darby hits the coffin drop 10 feet off a fucking pole to Sammy and Spears. Spears does win with that fucking the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the roll on Darby. Darby attacks Cody out of frustration. Where is this story leading?
It's leading to the fucking tournament because they all fight each other in that damn tournament. I mean, I get it, but this is kind of like WWE booking. Oh yeah, these 4 guys fight, so let's put the faces in a tag team and the heels in a tag team, and then let's have them have a match, and that's like momentum going into their match. They know they got to fight each other. Like, it's kind of unnecessary, but I'm still barely entertained by this match, though.
It was a very good matchup. Like you said, though, the more things change, the more they stay the same. But AEW, yep. they put their clever twists on everything, so I have faith in where the future is going. Up next,
right,
NXT, Velveteen Dream versus Bobby Fish.
Ow!
Sam Roberts on commentary. Did you like Sam Roberts' addition to the commentary table?
I mean, yeah, he's still being dickhead Sam Roberts. So, like, at times it was good. At times, yeah, it was funny. As long as he keeps being dickhead Sam Roberts. But yeah, I mean, you gotta have somebody. No Morrow, no Nigel. I gotta have somebody saying some ignorant stuff.
Well, you gotta appreciate Sam mentioning Carol Baskins during the commentary.
Yeah, any Tiger King reference definitely gets a win in my book.
But of course, Dream wins with the Dream Valley Driver. Did you like this match? Did you think it was too short? Did you think it was great? What were your thoughts on the actual match?
I thought it was a pretty good match. If they're gonna kind of like drag this out between Dream and Cole, so he's already fought Roddy twice, and now he's fighting Fish. So Tyler Riley, so he'll probably fight Fish. Yeah, I don't know, next week or something, or And then he'll cut some promo that, I've taken out everybody in the Undisputed Era. It's time for you, Adam Cole, blah, blah, blah. And Adam Cole, cut his promo last week saying, Dream ain't shit. So, but I thought it was a good match, I mean, wasn't really anything special, but it was a good match to start of the show.
Yeah, I agree. He's gonna do this like a Mortal Kombat bracket and take out all the Undisputed Era. So it should be entertaining to see that final matchup between the two. Of course, they're doing takeover matches weekly now, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We get the debut. Well, not really a debut. Malcolm interviewed backstage with those new tag team. What is it? What are they called? The Tag Team Enterprises or some shit?
I don't know, man. They're called two big trash guys. I don't know what the fuck.
The look on Malcolm's face makes the entire promo. He just has this bug-eyed.
Of course.
I'm
Bug-eyed,
super serious look.
Yeah, he's like a super bug-eyed, spazzy, serious guy. Like, oh god,
It'll be
motherfucker's ignorant.
to see what these three bring to the table in the weeks to come. Up next, Dexter Lumis, looking like the firefighter from Tacoma FD, which I watch all the time. The dude who says "son of a bitch." He looks exactly like that guy. Versus jobber Jake Atlas. They did take a commercial break during this. Well, actually, after this, it was a quick matchup. Are you impressed with Dexter Lumis and his weird tattooed arms?
Not really yet. You can. I mean, I like his look. Don't really know where his character is going, but I mean, I like his look, and he looks all right in the ring. But I mean, how great can you look against a jobber? Do you really get some talent in there? See if this guy can go or not. If he can take some back and forth. But yeah, it wasn't mad. It's a match, and it's a give him a little, not a real little push, but intro him to the NXT universe. I wasn't mad with it.
Yeah, it's always risky when you debut a new talent to an empty arena. Whereas when you debut Matt Hardy, you're like, oh shit, that's a guaranteed pop at home. But Dexter, you're just like, oh yeah, this guy, this isn't gonna be on Hulu.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't.
After the commercial break, we get the Killer Cross video again with the Doomsday Clock. When is that guy going to debut? Should be interesting because I want to see Scarlett's ass on that rope very soon.
Okay, so yeah, that's my question. Do you think they're going to debut together?
They have to. I mean, hopefully.
Really?
I think so. Just because everyone knows that they're married. And it'll be an interesting way to bring Scarlett onto TV, and then eventually she'll start wrestling on her own. But first, she'll help
but why not
get some success.
Right, I guess. Yeah, but I was just saying, like, if they really want her to have her own kind of career, why do they just keep doing that? Why not just have her debut when they think she's ready, or let Killer Cross get some time by himself, get a little bit of distance before you bring her out? Like,
have you seen her wrestle?
Not live or anything. I've checked out some YouTube clips.
Is she like a Lana kind of wrestler?
No, she hit a Canadian Destroyer on a bitch.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, like for some weird championship. I think she can like halfway go. She's not like Lana, who's green. Like she's actually wrestled. But I've seen her hit a Canadian Destroyer. She hit that thing nice. Like it was clean.
Well, hopefully she's improved. She's had plenty of time to work at the Performance Center, so maybe she'll impress some people and get a good enough push solo, if not with Killer Cross.
Right.
We get an entire recap of the Tommaso Ciampa Johnny Gargano PC fight. Next week, they announce they fight Blackheart versus Rebel Heart, the final beat. You gotta love that corny little moniker they gave that.
Yep.
Who you got? Who's gonna come out on top on this? I believe we talked about it last week, but have your thoughts changed?
No, I don't. I don't even think I picked anybody last week.
We threw in a lot of crazy theories about Killer Cross interfering.
But Killer Cross beating him up and stuff. But honestly, I don't know who really wins this. But yeah, I agree. Like they said what we had talked about. Yeah, like this match is like, even though like Johnny's acting more heelish and Ciampa's just crazy, they're fighting to be the face of NXT or the man of NXT, but like I don't understand how taking heelish tactics can make you the face of the company. I mean,
You're right,
no
Johnny
real face of the
Gargano.
company.
Everything Johnny says is true, and he's questioning why are we cheering for this guy? And our response is
Yeah.
Psycho Killer.
Yeah, yeah.
Daddy
Ciampa's
Funk.
gonna kill you.
Daddy
Ciampa's
Funk.
gonna kill you.
So Johnny's spitting out sense, and we're giving him nonsense, basically. But that's how.
Basically, yeah, like he's spitting out true facts. Yeah, like we're really cheering for a guy to be so crazy. Yeah, that he's like just gonna destroy people to win the championship. I mean, like I don't get it. Yeah.
Ceizar, get ready for some hot Shotzi Blackheart talk. The gauntlet match
Oh yeah.
begins versus Deonna Purrazzo, which, by the way, had a nice badonk. That Deonna
You
Purrazzo
know.
was thick in all the right places. I'm surprised they let her
You
show
know.
her stomach because it was folding like an accordion the entire match. But other than that, she was hot to look at. Shotzi Blackheart dominated this entire gauntlet match, taking out Deonna, taking out Xia Li with a unique submission. I never seen that submission before. She took
Seen
out
before, yeah. I mean,
she took out Aaliyah as well with the same submission. Caden Carter even falls with a top rope senton, but Dakota Kai, of course, brings out straight Sonya with her and takes the
yep.
gauntlet match. What are your thoughts on this? And do you think Shotzi is hot?
This is my favorite match, the gauntlet match. I mean, they literally repeat this process every time. It's literally like wash, rinse, repeat. It's always the first person is always a face, and they always take out everybody until the last person who is a heel, and then the heel just crushes them easily and gets all the glory. But it makes the face look strong. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can't really. I guess you can. Sometimes you can build off a win, but what's the point of beating 4 people and you couldn't beat 5? Like, how did you beat the third person?
I got a confusing question to ask. Shotzi
Yeah.
was in the tournament. Shotzi faced Chelsea Green in the qualifier match.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green defeated Shotzi very easily.
Easily.
Shotzi then proceeded to take out 4 women. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
In the past 2 months that she fought Chelsea Green, did she get a Mr. Miyagi and got super tough all of a sudden? It's really confusing to have Shotzi go through all these.
Oh, she came out without that damn tank. Maybe maybe the tank gives you leg cramps, and she couldn't fight at her full power.
That's right.
So then that dumbass
tank. I forgot about that.
Maybe she has to pedal that tank because it's so small. Kid tank, she has to pedal it, and so like pedaling pedaling all that butt meat in that tank tires her out. So she couldn't. She just walks out, and then she has a strength of fucking 10 men apparently.
Well, I gotta say, this was an impressive showing for Shotzi. I love that submission she does, and I guess the top rope senton is her finisher. She falls to Dakota Kai after a really sloppy GTS, which they called the go-to kick. But it was just confusing how she lost to Chelsea and then came back. But who knows? WWE, they're just trying to build new women, so this was a good showing. I don't want to be negative. I thought that was humorous that she had lost previously so easily.
Right. I just don't like gauntlet matches at all. I mean, there's no real fair way to have that match. Like in the Royal Rumble, you can always kind of cheat and go out the bottom rope, go under the ring, go get a soda.
Yeah.
like there's rules and ways to cheat in the Rumble. So even if you are first, like you could last until 30 comes in. And we've seen people do it. We've seen people, you get hit with a move, you roll out the ring, or you just lay on the ground, stay down, you don't get hit. There's no way to like fairly or unfairly win I mean, unfairly win at a gauntlet match. There's no real like break for you. It's not like you get like 2 seconds, 2 minutes to rest before the person comes out. They instantly come out,
Well, the
and it's all.
only good thing I can say about a gauntlet match is that it made us all believe in Kofi Kingston.
It did. It did. I mean, we all knew he could go, but he was throwing pancakes and and going in time machines that were refrigerator boxes.
And the
He was-
Jamaican
he's
accent and all that shit.
And a Jamaican accent, yeah, and then wearing penises on his head, calling himself a unicorn, and having Big E reference sexual innuendos. I mean, yeah, he was just being goofy, and they were always in a tag team match. So I mean, I
Yeah.
get it, but yeah, I mean, he got his shot, and he had his run. I mean, I don't know if he'll get another one.
Well, after a
But-
commercial break, we get Kushida versus Joaquin Wilde. And I gotta admit, I'm getting more and more impressed with Kushida every match he does. It was kind of funny though when he asked Joaquin if he was okay after he kicked his arm. He's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And he looked at the ref. He goes, "Is he okay?" I've never seen a wrestler do that before. So blatant.
Yeah, I've never seen that either. So I guess he maybe thought he kicked him too hard.
Kushida wins after turning a hip toss into an arm bar, shakes his hand afterwards, but unfortunately, Joaquin gets kidnapped in the parking lot by weird luchadors. What the fuck is going on here, man?
I have no fucking idea what these weird luchador guys.
Do you think it's gonna be like a lucha world order or some fucking bullshit with
Yeah.
luchas? Because you know how they like to
Something.
something Mexicans together.
Yeah, it's gonna be something real dumb that I'm gonna be real pissed about.
I hope there's a
And,
star that's like the leader for it or something.
Yeah, and I hope it's like a guy who's like blonde with a tattoo on his neck. If Brody Lee wants to be Vince, they'll debut somebody that's supposed to be like Cody.
It's L Elite.
It's L, no, just L Light.
L Light.
Yeah.
The main event is the North American Championship main event that was scheduled for Tampa Takeover. My God, what a hell of a matchup. Ceizar, Damian Priest versus Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic. Incredible matchup. What was your favorite part of the match? I got a few notes written down here.
This just proves that, not to say Damian Priest is decent. He's a great wrestler. This just proves that the chemistry between Dijakovic and Lee is so good, you can add to it, and it's still damn good. Like, these guys just keep, I don't know how they keep making it fresh, and they just keep fighting each other. Like, that's got to be some true chemistry. Like, they talk about, like, I think Edge brought it up. Like, one time he said, like, some of the best chemistry he had was with, like, Chavo Guerrero Jr. and Eddie Guerrero. I think he said one time he had, like, a match with Chavo, and they didn't even discuss the match, but they went out and just had it in the ring, and it was, like, 40 minutes. I was like, how do you do that? How do you not even talk about the match? Or, like, he's like, they were just, like, literally vibing off each other. Like, they didn't even have to speak during the match. He was like, I knew when he went to throw me into the ropes, he'd go in for a second. I knew to reverse it and do this. Like, it was just, I don't know. I think those guys have that kind of chemistry.
Did at any point
Notes.
did you believe Keith Lee was going to lose that belt?
There was a few. I thought Damian Priest, if anything, I thought Damian Priest was going to sneak it. I think I thought Dijakovic had like one. What was that point? Dijakovic, I thought was going to win. It was like one point I thought Dijakovic could do it. I think is when they double chokeslammed Lee off the top.
Oh yeah.
And then Dijakovic kicked Priest to the outside, and he hit that real big elbow drop. I was like, oh man, I thought like he was going to hit the elbow drop, Keith Lee would kick out, and then Dijakovic would do something else
I don't
and
want
like maybe win. I thought that was
to be too negative here, but as a stupid wrestling fan who notices most stuff, I did notice that Damien was botching a couple stuff. Even what you said
yeah,
when they chokeslammed Keith Lee off the second rope, Damien for some reason like fell to the apron. I'm not sure why, but I mean he is a gigantic man. It's gonna of course be more
yeah.
difficult to pull off some stuff. So I nitpick here, but
His second rope like dive to the outside looked like it almost got botched, or it's just that he's so tall, like he didn't get the right. He doesn't get the kind of like push out that he needs, because like when he had them on the outside and he did that thing where he steps off the second rope and dives over, it almost looked like he hits his head and his neck on the ring apron.
exactly. Every time I see that, my butthole clenches because he comes within
Yeah,
inches of hitting the back of his
yeah,
head onto the ring apron, and Lord only knows what's going to happen to him when that does happen.
yeah, exactly. So that always freaks me out for that one. I thought Damian Priest was gonna win a couple of times. I thought Dijakovic was gonna hit the feast your eyes like they did. I think they spiked Lee and he fell out, and then Damian Priest went for his like Razor's Edge bullshit, and Dijakovic like reversed it into a DDT and then picked him up for the feast your eyes, but he like escaped out of that. So I did think Dijakovic I was like, oh shit, he's gonna do it. But the spot that went beautifully, I thought that could have went wrong was when Dijakovic had Priest for the time to fly, and he chucked him, and Keith Lee caught him for a power bomb.
Yes.
I was like, that was just. I was like, these dudes aren't light, bro. Like, you can't be just. First of all, you're chucking a guy who's like 300 pounds, and then he caught him perfectly. He didn't even like stumble to catch him. He was like, boom, caught his ass, and I was like, yo, these boys ain't playing today.
I'm
The
kind of
power bomb spot was good.
I'm kind of glad they're maybe the coronavirus did NXT a favor by spreading these
Mhm.
matches out. Because could you imagine
Yeah.
having to follow this fucking match?
But that was like the last takeover. Remember Keith Lee and Dijakovic started that takeover, and like you're like, you gotta follow this. Like these dudes fucking put out a fucking 10-star Tokyo Dome fucking Super Shima shit, as Meltzer would say.
Yeah.
Fuck shit. And then like you had to follow that? Like, come on, bro. Like them shits are bangers. It's usually like that with the Undisputed Era. Remember when they would come out and have those tag battles
Yes.
for the belts, like their first run? And then I'm like, that's how you start the show? Like, that's how you start the show. It's like, this shit is unfair. And it'd be like 5 matches and they're all bangers.
And always by the end of a takeover, you're like so exhausted with so much
Yeah,
great.
you shot your load like 3 times. You at least shot 3 loads.
You're
You're like, I'm done.
Your ball sack is empty by the end of the night, and
Yeah.
you need to break,
Yeah.
take a nap or something.
Yeah, you're fucking hot. Get away from me, bitch. Don't even touch me. I don't even think about you.
At least the way they're doing it now, we have a week-long refractory period in between awesome match like this and what we're going to get next Wednesday with Tommaso and Johnny. The notes that I wrote down, like you said, Keith Lee's strength. My God, dude. This dude is the Incredible Hulk. He powerbombed Damien onto Dominic not once, not twice, not even 3 times. 4 power bombs onto Dominic's back. And he was
And then spirit bombed him.
spirit bombed his ass. Damien still got out of it. Did Dijakovic save him or something? I don't know if he kicked out of it with his own power or he got help, but
I think he just kicked out.
Dominic Dijakovic is a flesh tower of humanity who hit a corkscrew moonsault onto Keith Lee.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was going. That's what it wasn't an elbow drop. It was a corkscrew moonsault. So like that's what they did. They double choke slammed him. He kicked Priest, and then Priest fell all the way to the floor. I think Priest was supposed to fall to the apron, but he fell all the way to the floor. Like you botched it, like you said.
Yeah.
And then he hit the corkscrew moonsault. So that's where I thought I was like, oh shit, Dijakovic is gonna win. I was like, this is crazy to take the belt off Keith, but then like Sam Roberts mentioned that Keith Lee won it in January. So I was like, oh, 3 months isn't like that bad for a run. And he's been crazy with it. And if they're just going to go back and forth, I wouldn't be mad at it. But Keith Lee still won, so I'm still happy with how the match turned out.
Well, forgive me, Dominic, but I really hope that Keith Lee gets a whole new row of new challengers because I want to see what this big man can do with the rest of the roster. Keith Lee
Right.
hits the Big Bang Catastrophe, retains the championship. Ceizar, who's going to take this belt off?
I have no idea. I did like the finish because he grabbed the Big Boss Man 2.0, and then he went for the Feast Your Eyes, and he fucking hit the stick, and then Keith threw Priest out. Yeah, Keith threw Priest out the ring, and then scooped Dominic for the win. So I don't know whether they're gonna like continue that 3-way for like a crowd and maybe amp it up a little bit. But I thought it was a great finish because obviously Priest has been taking some L. So Priest didn't take the L, but he had the nightstick, which is within the rules. It sucks Dominic had to take the L because Priest is gonna like try to probably talk him, be like, oh, he lost, so take him out the match. So it still gives a reason for like Priest versus Lee now. But I thought it was a great finish after a fucking phenomenal match.
If I was Damien, I would have Tanya Harding both of them immediately and then start
Immediately.
the match.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like you said. Imagine if we had these matches at a takeover. It would be this match. It would be the women's ladder match, which these bitches are gonna eat some ladder, and I know they're gonna do some damage. Then it would be Ciampa versus Johnny, and probably still an empty arena match.
Yeah.
Like those 3 matches right there, all fucking gold, right there. And that's just 3. And then you might have had Velveteen Dream versus Cole, which I'm sure will be a banger match. And then the Bruiserweights with whoever they were feuding with before, or they would probably have a feud. So I mean, those 5 matches right there are all gold.
I haven't checked the ratings, but I really hope that this triple threat gave NXT a little much needed boost. But more than likely, AEW, probably won the week of the ratings.
Probably won the night. Yeah.
We did it, Ceizar. We broke down Steel Raw After Party, Dark Sides of the Ring. We broke down AEW NXT. Any final thoughts before we head into the double WrestleMania days?
Nah, man, I got my liquor ready. Feel like I'm gonna need it tonight. I think this third night's gonna be some trash. So I got the sauce ready. I've been charging my phone the whole time. So was it like 3 hours? Well, 2 hours because it's almost 4 o'clock.
Yep.
So for me, it's 2 hours until Mania. I'm on 90%, so this chat can get popping. I might need to give me something to eat, fold up some clothes. Obviously wash my hands because I don't want the Rona. That's about it, man. I'm just.
We didn't discuss the betting hashtags.
We didn't. I mean, we didn't really pick matches either. We didn't pick matches. I don't know if there's really a fair match to like bet on. I guess you can just start a bet in the chat if you want.
I really wish there would have been a battle royal because I had a whole plan in my head of drawing wrestlers' names instead of numbers. And I was gonna have Sticks come up with the winning hashtags this time, but this whole Corona thing screwed us out of our betting odds.
Yeah, sure did. I mean, we could always bet. Like, you could take a poll, like who's picking what, and then try to just make hashtags real quick.
Something like that. We'll think of something in the chat.
I mean, you got a couple hours to think of something for tonight. We don't know what's on which show though. We don't know what matches are on what night.
That's true, and there's going to be surprises, and Gronk's hosting. We forgot to bring that up.
Yeah, Tom Brady might walk his ass out. He's in Tampa Bay now. It's probably not that far from Tampa.
Tom Brady with a face mask and gloves, like slapping Gronk around.
That shit would be weak.
Well, Cesar, thank you for spending a lot of time with me breaking down shit. Thank you, Bretsky. Thank you, Cynic. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Enjoy WrestleMania today, folks. And as always, all hail Linda's Bush.
I'm beyond all that fuck shit. Hey. Hey, lil' mama, would you like to be my sunshine? Hail Ceizar.
Yo, it's your boy Julius _ Ceizar here. And Cynic Chaos is asking me why shouldn't men take baths anymore? It's easy. Because who wants to sit in a tub of their own filth anymore? Man, there's like Corona out here and STDs and ratchet ass people, and you want to sit in a tub of your own filth? Fuck no. I mean, especially if you're living in the house with some roommates. I mean, somebody could be all lonely and shit. And then what if you're sitting in like a tub with the jets? You know what I'm saying? Like a little jacuzzi inside the house. Your lonely ass roommate sticks his little dong up in there, thinking about some butt meat he just saw on the internet. And then next thing you know, man, he just skeeting all in the jets. And then you go to sit your ass up in there, you know, and enjoy yourself a nice little soak, you know, a little tub life. And then you get skeet all in the water. I don't know, man. People are nasty as shit around here. You motherfuckers eating bats and shit. You know, sticking dicks in jets and who knows, farting all up in the water. You know, shitting their ass. You know what I'm saying? Just dropping heat in the damn tub. And you gotta share that? Oh, hell no. Hell no. Ain't enough bleach in the world. So get your lazy ass in the shower. Wash it down. Keep it clean. Wash your ass and your hands. Quit skeeting in the jets, thinking about butt meat on the internet. And, you know, stay safe. Beat the virus. Get out in them streets. You know, hump somebody if you want to skeet. All right, I'm out. Got drinking to do. See me in the comments.